Hey everyone, your designers are here. I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
We've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today, so let's get started.
Today is episode 179, Listener Questions Answered. I think this might be the third such episode that we've done.
Yes.
That's right.
It might be. And remember, the show notes for today can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/179.
Yes.
I love listener questions.
Me too. It's a great way to connect.
Mm-hmm. And I love reading everything that comes through, and the photos are fantastic. I spent a great part of last weekend. It was a rainy day, going through all the emails and shooting back some responses and letting a lot of people know that we were going to answer their questions live on the show today. So I hope that a lot of those people are listening now or will be listening as the week progresses, because we have a lot of good answers for you. So we're going to kick it off with a question from Diane. And Diane is wondering, what type of sofa is considered a classic?
Okay, well, I'll take this one. Hi, Diane, and we're really happy for your question. We're happy that you're listening. I think what defines a classic sofa is a sofa that's timeless, that it stays in style longer than maybe most other sofas, and it's a sofa that works with other styles in your home as well. And what if you want to talk about what dates a sofa and makes it not a classic, is the fabric and the framework. Look at those two things. When I'm thinking of a classic style, it's got just think of your just normal sofa. It could have rolled arms or it could have square arms. It usually has 2 or 3 pillows. It may have a skirt or not, but there's usually not a curve to the back, and there's usually not some like really low arms, or there's not the legs that are sticking out that maybe look more like mid-century modern. So, I usually, to be honest with you, I think of like a Pottery Barn sofa. That to me is a pretty classic sofa. It's pretty straightforward. And also it can be a very classic style, but if it has a olive green, like a Naga hide on it, it's probably from the 60s. So also that's why a fabric dates that. And when you're thinking of a classic sofa, you want to think of a sofa that maybe has a neutral or a solid color, because they tend to stand the test of time longer than any kind of a print. So in 3 minutes, I hope I answered your question. Or in 2 minutes.
That was very good.
Because I know that we have a lot of questions to get to.
Oh, yeah, but that was very thorough. Okay. Pat B, our pal Pat, we love getting your emails, Pat, and your sense of humor really tickles me. I love corresponding with you, and thank you for all the emails and all the episode ideas. And for Pat's question today, she's asking about clocks. So what's the deal with clocks these days in decor? Do we use them? Is the grandfather clock totally out? Has it gone the way of the Hummel? Or like cuckoo clocks and all of that. So, Anita, you want to handle that one?
Yes. Hi, Pat. And I love clocks. I have a lot of antique clocks in my house, and I think that's a nice way to add some interest to your home. A lot of times the antique ones don't work very well, so I don't actually use them for keeping time. That's what my phone is for. So, so it's more decorative. But back to the clocks, and I think specifically she had the question about the grandfather clocks and the cuckoo clocks. Are those in style? Well, I would say they are not that popular right now, is the way I want to phrase it. Because, again, if it's something that you love, even if it's not popular, I think you should keep it. I mean, it's really about what makes you happy in your home. But since she specifically asked, I would say I'm not seeing them as being necessarily on trend. I'm not seeing grandfather clocks. I'm not seeing cuckoo clocks. And the grandfather clocks, if they are antique, I think they tend to be more in style than maybe those that our parents had that maybe were purchased 40 years ago, 30 years ago, those I think are not so in style. The exception to this rule would be the Mora clocks, which are the Swedish looking ones. They tend to be
good
painted.
point. I didn't even think of those. Right.
The chalky painted ones, they tend to be more of a blue or a gray or a white. Sometimes they're colors, but and the real ones are usually, $2,000 to $5,000 is what I've seen on those. There are reproductions. I have a reproduction one that was far, far less than that. But those are hot, hot, hot. So yeah, if you find one of those are a great buy.
Now, what do you think it is about those, Anita? Is it more of the Swedish style rather than the fact that it's a clock? Or is it that it's a clock?
No, well, I think it's the Gustavian. I think, French is just always in style. It just seems to be the constant. But the Gustavian, remember, is kind of the Swedish version of French style. Right. And I think the fact that it's painted, I think a lot of the grandfather clocks tend to be mahogany. And as you both know, mahogany really is just out of favor right now.
And I think that's it more than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to do with it.
My mom has a grandfather clock, and it's sort of... It's oak, so it's kind of like that yellowy oak.
Golden oak.
She loves it, and she's moved it around to all our houses. But when I go there, no matter where I am, I could be like a mile from her house, and I can hear that thing donging. She takes it apart for me when I go. And I'm not really a light sleeper, but I could not live with that, with the donging all the time.
Oh, my dad's house, he had, I don't know how many, 5 clocks that dinged and donged all night long. It used to drive me nuts. I'd make him stop all of them because I just couldn't sleep. And, we inherited a grandfather clock, but it was not that old. It was maybe 15 years old, and it felt dated to me, and we just sold it.
Yeah. I wonder, if you did like a grandfather clock, I bet you could get a really good deal on one somewhere.
Right. And if you want to paint it, that would bring it into more of a modern, a current look.
Right. And I've been to, secondhand shops and seen literally rows and rows of mahogany or cherry grandfather clocks.
Yeah, only sandwiched in between are the china cabinets.
Yes. That's true.
Oh my gosh. But we know what we can do to all those things. So hey, maybe you want to think about starting a new trend with painting grandfather clocks. Actually, I'm thinking like one in some really bold color could be really cool if that was your look.
I added this fantastic piece that's hand painted, Pompeian style, probably from around 1840 in my dining room. It was a grandfather clock at one time. Now the top has been removed and now it looks like a pedestal. But again, this is hand painted. And so it's not what we're really talking about.
I've got to look again. I'm sure I've seen it. I just didn't know what it was.
Figures on it. It's got all these figurines.
So it's the base of a grandfather clock.
Yes. Cool. But it's got little cupids and all kinds of it's very, very ornate.
And it was excavated from Pompeii. Did you hear that?
No. What it is that I think when they originally found Pompeii, it was on exhibit.
They had this clock in it.
No, stop it. It became, people started, it just was popular then. Right. And so they started creating, it was a Pompeian revival style is what we should call it.
I'm just being silly.
I know you are.
Okay, so let's get on to another question, and also being silly. Okay. So Trisha and Uma both had the same question. So I'm combining your questions, ladies. How do you clean faux arrangements, garlands, and wreaths?
Okay. Hi, Trisha and Uma. Thank you for your question. I happen to love very well done faux flowers, and I do use them. And my go-to thing, because I don't keep them out that much so they don't get terribly dusty, is I use a feather duster on them, and you can sort of beat them up a little bit with a feather duster because you're not going to really hurt them. You might want to take that outside to do so it doesn't get dust everywhere. And here's my other one. I use a blow dryer set on low and set on not hot, but warm, and just blow dry it because you can blow dry the dust off.
Oh, good idea.
But
outside probably, right?
Actually, I do that inside and then just when I'm cleaning and then just like, vacuum the floor. But the feather
If you're
duster, I
allergic
would
to
take
dust,
things outside.
though, it might be a bit.
Yeah,
much.
if you're yes, of course. The other thing is I just looked this up and I've never tried it. You can actually buy silk flower cleaner. And we'll put a couple links to that. And I've read the reviews and they've gotten very, very good reviews, but I've never tried it.
Is it a liquid thing, Eva?
It's a spray.
I think it's a spray.
Or an aerosol.
But
And I thought at first maybe it would be like, canned air, but it's not.
Oh.
It's actually something that you spray on and apparently it gets rid of it.
Yeah, but would spraying water do the same thing? That's what I'm
Well,
wondering.
this is what I'm going to say. If you have a little dirt on your a little more than just a little dust, you can, I would test a flower first. And if they're so dusty and getting to the dirty part, what are you going to do with them? You're not going to keep them like that. So I have put the ones that I use outside in a wreath in my sink and used a sprayer, not like, just didn't blast the whole stream. I put the sprayer on and just wet it all down and shook it off and let it naturally dry. Or you can take a toothbrush and brush each flower. I mean, that's if you really love your arrangement, because that's probably very time intensive. And then if you have heavy dirt, I would probably, if you're having pretty heavy dirt on an arrangement or even something outside, I take it apart and swish each flower stem in a bowl of warm water with just a couple drops of liquid dish soap, and then rinse it with clear water, and then just put them maybe on some paper towels to dry. Because if they're that dirty, then there's going to be a lot of dirt and grime also, in between the flowers that are going to be really hard to get to. So those are and the last one, and I didn't try this, but I saw it suggested that you can put flowers in a plastic bag with uncooked rice and shake it. And that makes sense to me. But again, that would be sort of for the light dust duster, just a tiny bit of schmutzy here and there. And that's what you would do. So that's my answer.
Wow. So what, with the dust, it adheres to the rice?
Oh, the dust shakes the rice off. I mean, the rice shakes the dust off.
And you put your phone in there too, in case you got it wet.
That's right. Yes, in case you've dropped it into something wet on the way.
You know those commercials where people are running to put their phones in rice? It's like everyone's running to put their fake flowers in rice bags now. A little visual.
No, I've never done that, but that's I used what I did, but I also did a lot of research and that. But it does seem like that would make sense.
That was a very thorough answer.
There you go.
I might get answer of the day. Okay, so
where's
I
that
don't have my bell with me.
I'm going
North
to.
Carolina, so,
right,
yeah.
she's on vacation. No bell. Okay, just while we're on the mention of a hairdryer, there's this great tip. I haven't tried it yet, but I almost cannot wait to get something with a sticker, a really hard to get off sticker. You know how I hate stickers. So Sarah C.
She wants one of these now.
I want a sticker. Life is so complicated, isn't it? So Sarah C. knows I hate stickers because she said, Kelly, I know you hate stickers in her email. And she's in the midst of building her dream house, but she took a moment to let us know that she has a trick for removing really stuck on stickers. You blow dry it with your hair dryer for 30 to 60 seconds. And the sticker peels right off.
That makes so much sense,
I
though,
haven't
doesn't
heard
it?
of that one.
I never heard that either. So I am going to try that. Thank you, Sarah. You're the bomb. I love it.
Hey, I've got one more use for a hair dryer.
What?
If you make, let's say you make a wreath with these lovely, real looking faux flowers and you're hot gluing them on, and you know how you get those like hot glue spiders? You put your hair dryer on low but hot and blow dry it, they will just disappear. They'll melt and disappear.
Oh, that's a great
Right back
idea.
at you, Sarah, with another blow dryer tip.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, Anita. Sandy N would like to know some resources for duvet fillers, pillow forms, towels, and linens. You got anything up your sleeve there or in your pillowcase?
I do. I do actually. And I've found them so many different places, but I've been curating things on Amazon, and I've actually, one of the companies that I bought a lot from, which is PillowFlex, and I have a wholesale, I buy wholesale from them.
PillowFlex, FL.
But they are right, but they sell on Amazon now. So that's the beauty of it. You can go on there and they will, and if you go to my Amazon page, I'll have a link here, but it's got all these forms that I buy from them, and high rank rating, prime shipping, and so you can just buy through Amazon rather than going directly through them. So that's the beauty of it.
Now, is PillowFlex, when we're saying forms, I was kind of getting that Sandy was asking for like toss pillow forms. Is that what they sell?
They have everything.
So they sell even regular pillows.
Well, PillowFlex. So
ones?
they're whatever kind of pillow you need. They're sleeping pillows. They're Euro pillows. They're that's what, when I sold the pillows in my online shop, when I had it, whatever size pillow I had, maybe it was 18 by 18 or it was a 14 by 20. Throw pillows. They have those forms there, and that's the thing that what I've started doing is buying the forms that I really like, that, I love the down filled ones or the down alternative. And I don't really like those cheapy kind of pillows. I want something that's comfortable to lean against or to use. So I buy nice pillows. And then when you have the nice pillows, then it makes sense. You just cover it with a different cover. And I know, Yvonne has talked about this a lot. If you're wanting to change out your pillows, this way, all you need are different covers. You don't need to store those extra pillows when you're not using them. You just store the covers. And I know on my Amazon page, I have a lot of 18 by 18 pillow covers, and then you just buy the pillow forms the way you want. You can get the feather, you can get, and everybody has their own kind that they want. So this is the way you buy.
How about the duvets?
Same thing.
Same thing. I
mean, I would
suggest, I would go the same place.
One-stop shop.
Right. I mean, so you can go with the feather or the down filled or the feather down or down alternative, really whatever, and that makes more sense. I mean, you're not going to want to and so when you buy a comforter, you're just stuck with whatever they've got, and they're probably polyester fiber filled. But when you do the duvet, I mean, you're not going to buy a duvet for every cover you have. You're just going to buy one for your bed.
And hey, Sandy, I'm going to direct you back if you didn't listen to our episode, because I'm having a recollection of me talking all about baffling and stitching.
Yes.
And right, didn't I say all that stuff?
You did.
Okay, so I'm going to direct you back, because I can't remember that off the top of my head.
We'll just put it in the show notes.
Yeah, so I'll just link that episode in the show notes.
Right. But the other thing I want to mention, the thing that I am just super in love with right now, are the long bolster pillows for your bed. Like a 36-inch by, 36-inch long by 9-inch diameter round, the bolster pillows.
Right.
They have those on Amazon, and they're all on my Amazon page.
Okay.
And that way, you can just get the cover to go on it, and they're just dreamy.
Oh, that's right.
And they're beautiful.
Okay.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
We've got another one. Now, it involves mahogany. It's a question from Fran N. And she sent a beautiful picture of her dining room with this absolutely beautiful table and her very autumnal colors and whatnot. It looks really gorgeous, and she's a pretty art in her dining room. So well done, Fran. And she has a question, Yvonne, about refinishing the top of her table.
Okay. I sort of want to mimic what you're saying, Kelly. Fran, your dining room is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful traditional dining room. And yeah, beautifully done. Well done. And here's the thing. Fran's problem, from what I can see in the picture, it looks like you have some scratches and some dinks, and maybe a little bit of sun fading, if I'm not mistaken, or I just don't know if that's the lighting in there, but it looks a little different. One side of the table looks a little different than the other. But here's the thing. It's a Duncan Phyfe table. Now, a Duncan Phyfe table is English made. It is heirloom quality. It has a 7-step hand finish.
Wow.
This is a beautiful, beautiful table. Her table is 4 leaves and it's 109 inches when it's fully extended. And she says she entertains a lot. Here's what I'm going to tell you, Fran. Because this is such a beautiful table, like I said, heirloom quality, I would call Duncan Phyfe. And I've gone on their site and they have a phone number that you can call them. And I would talk to somebody, find somebody and ask them what you should do. Because from the looks of your dining room, it doesn't look like you're going to change your style. And I don't think I would. It's beautiful. And also, I don't think you want to paint something like that.
Yeah. No, she said that in the email. She really doesn't want to paint it.
Yeah. And actually, I don't care for painted dining room tables. I like painted chairs with the dining room table. But this is such an exceptional table. I would call Duncan Phyfe and see what they recommend. And I'm sure somebody will recommend something or recommend where you can have it refinished. But because it's such a lovely piece, I would not do this myself. I would have it professionally finished.
And, when I worked at the furniture store, that's the kind of case where they would use the steel wool and on a ultra fine with the Restora finish. So
yeah, but I'm hoping that she could get somebody to do that 7-step finish for her.
Yeah.
Because if she doesn't want to do that, this is an option.
It's an inlaid table. It is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay, totally switching gears from mahogany tables to a boho look.
Oh,
Dakota writes that she loves the boho look. She enjoyed our boho episode. And her question, and I'm going to shoot this one to Anita, is do you have to choose between the jewel tones and the super saturated when you're going boho? And would you choose a theme such as tribal or something like that and stick with it throughout? or can you sort of mix it all up?
Well, Dakota, I would probably be focused on the type of color in the room. So, now there's a boho with neutrals or a boho with color. So I would go either the neutral or the color. But even with the color, then you've got the jewel tones and the super saturated. So I would probably choose one or the other of those. I'm not sure they're going to really work that well together. You can try some things and see if they'll play well together, but you want a cohesive look in the room. So I would certainly go with colors that are working together. And with the tribal, I'm not sure what exactly tribal you mean, but there's a lot of tribal. Do you mean like Moroccan tribal? Do you mean Middle Eastern tribal? Or do you mean like Navajo? It doesn't really matter to me on the tribal so long as the colors are working with the boho that you choose. So if everything in the room, the colors are kind of not fighting and they seem to be going well together, then that sounds perfect to me. So, if it's things that you can buy, and I love buying things and then seeing what works and then returning the things that aren't working in the room. If that's an option for you, I would do that as much as possible. Yeah. So if you go to some local stores to get pillows, then you can easily return the ones that, didn't really work well in the room.
Okay. Good one. Let's see. We also have a tip from our pal Connie F. She is knowing I'm having a hard time letting go of Windex. So she says Method Glass Cleaner has a minty fresh cleanser that is almost as good as Windex. So thank you, Connie. And now we have a pillow question that I think I'm going to let everybody join in on if they want to. But this question was pretty much directed towards Yvonne, because remember when we did our sofa episode, Yvonne was talking about she had at one point those sofas that were facing each other. So Valerie sent us a very long and lovely email with a great photo of these two gorgeous tufted sofas with a lot of options for pillows. Would you have 4 matching, or would you have to? And Valerie, I loved it. And I think I got out a piece of paper and I drew it all out. So I'm going to throwing these pillows out to the girls. So how would you handle this? So picture this, everybody. You've got 2 sofas facing each other, some sort of coffee table in the center. So what do you do about the pillows?
Well, let me say, those were gorgeous sofas too.
Gorgeous, right?
How beautiful
It's a beautiful room, and the windows, everything really nicely done, Valerie. So, Yvonne, what do you think, babe?
Well, Valerie, I think any of your suggestions of your like 4 2 pairs and all that, they'd all work. I think it's a very personal thing. Now, I had these sofas, we're saying 3 decades ago, and mine matched. I had 2 pillows on either end of each sofa, so there were 4 of them, like 4 big pillows, 4 medium-sized pillows put on each end, and then something in the center. But I don't think you have to do that. I would keep my end pillows maybe the same, and change up, and use the same color palette, but maybe you could change up like the center pillow or a lumbar, or have all the pillows but one of the side ones the same, and that could be just something a little bit different. You could have, you could just change up. I would keep you'd probably have to have these custom made, but you could have like a large pillow on one sofa and the lumbar pillow on the other sofa matching. So I think there's a lot of play there. But I think what I'll tell you is to keep your color palette the same on both sofas and use the same fabric, even though they're different kinds on both sofas.
Okay.
That's my advice.
Yeah, I think the thing that I think Yvonne has offered excellent advice. The suggestion I would offer is kind of similar to what I did on the boho, and that is, let's say you wanted 10 pillows, 5 on each piece of furniture. I would go out to all the stores near you and try to get at least 30 pillows in all
Wow, how fun would that be?
No, wait a minute. I'm not done yet. That are all go well together. And
can we bring them home?
and bring them home.
And play with them, she's saying. That's what I'm all excited. Yeah.
Play with them, try them. And you know my tip always, take a picture with every combination on the
Good job.
sofa. And then you're going to go on your computer. Now, maybe while you're taking the pictures, you're going to go, this is my favorite. And then you'll know. Or if you still don't know, look at those pictures on your computer, not on your phone. It's too small. Look at the pictures and, kind of decide which ones are your favorites. And then you're going to, you've hopefully kept all your receipts, and then you're going to return the ones that, were your least favorites.
Wow.
So that would be an idea.
I'd love to be there that day. Yeah. I don't want to return them, but I'd really love to be there that day.
We could all leave with some then. Valerie's rejects. Hey, Valerie, this is what I would say. It's a very general idea. I would stick with our what we've talked about generally with pillows is this, or fabric in general, the 60-30-10. So 60% of them should be sort of this, the same, or maybe a solid even. And then 30% you could have, a bigger pattern. And then maybe that 10, which maybe would be the one center one, the fifth, like Anita is saying, on each one. That could be something like, some crazy, something interesting, or maybe a needle pointy one, just like something off, a totally different texture, or, sequence, whatever, whatever your thing is. And even those two, the 10%, even each one of those could be different, but, in the same general palette.
And here's what I also just want to throw in. I think the more traditional your sofas are, and the more traditional your styling is, I think the more symmetrical they can be. And the more towards the modern you go, or to the boho or something like that, I think the more sort of mix and match they can be. And if they are something like, if you're going to keep to like mid-century modern, I don't think you need to put very many of them on.
Yes, good point.
Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health: potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
Okay, we've got a really fun question I know we all gave some thought to and looked at the pictures, and it's from Taryn from Johannesburg, South Africa. How fun is that?
That is fun. Hi, Taryn.
She is so lovely, and she even sent us a picture of her beautiful family. I mean, it was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
So Taryn is creating a coffee bar area in what she's calling her lounge, which looks like it might be like a lower level, like family room situation leading out to the outdoors where she has a pool and other really nice looking things and a garden. So Taryn's question is, how would you design, because she's having it made, and then outfit this coffee bar, which she says is going to be primarily for pouring fabulous cappuccinos and conversation, which sounds so nice. And if we ever find ourselves in Johannesburg, I know what our house looks like. Maybe we can find it. So what do you guys think?
Well, I thank you for your pictures. Your home is lovely, and you have such a big family room, or as you call it, a lounge. I mean, most people would give their right arms for that beautiful family room. As I was understanding what you were saying with each picture, I think where you're going to put if I'm not mistaken, and girls, correct me if I'm wrong, you want the coffee bar to be moved to between that natural colored two-seater love seat. And then there's a little corner there that has something in it. And then there's a piano and a chair on that other wall. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where you're saying. And if that's where you're saying.
I think it's windows on one side.
Yes. The first thing I would tell you to do is get rid of the chair and move the piano on that wall a little further over, because where you want to put that coffee bar, there's not a lot of room back there. And then move your sofa. I'd move it closer to your large plate glass window you just need a little bit of more room in that back area. And I love that your husband is a barista and that he has this great coffee machine. And this is one of the fun things that you do. I just love that idea. And I love that you're bringing it into your living area and making it a part of your life. I also see that you have such wonderful old family pictures. And if I'm remembering properly, I think you said it was a grandfather that was a pilot.
Yeah.
Love those pictures.
You know what I would do? I would definitely incorporate those pictures, because you want to put them, and I would maybe even do a theme using sort of like planes or pilots or something like that in that coffee bar, like getting great coffee mugs with different airplanes on it.
Oh, cute idea.
Yeah, because I would carry that theme a little bit over, because that coffee bar is fun. So I would just make it like overly fun and do things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great idea. That'd be fun to have some customized glasses that look aeronautical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So I think that what Taryn was saying is that she's going to have the bar come out and there's going to be stools, and that the bar top is going to be wood, which I think is a really nice idea, especially with the memorabilia that she's going to be showing, which is the great. I don't know I can't remember if it was the great grandfather or the grandfather.
It's World War II.
Yes, World War II. That's
amazing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I think that would lend itself to if you had a really nicely stained wood and maybe, with like some nice poly on it and really look really sharp. And then I would pair it with white painted cabinets. How do you guys feel about that?
That's such a beautiful look. And what would be so fun is if you truly had a stool and nothing with a back on it, you could have something put on the stool that was the theme, like an airplane or whatever the division that your great grandfather was in, something on another stool like that, just to give it a little carryover and fun.
Oh, that's fun. Or even a grain sack would be cool, even because she does that farmhouse feel, like you did with the blue stripe or something.
That's right.
And I was saying sort of the outside of the bar where the stools are, the under part there, maybe doing a wainscoting or beadboarding there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the windows. And I'm wondering if, in front of the windows, if you could maybe do a ledge. And I was thinking, do those windows open, Taryn? Could you do like a pass out to the pool?
How fun.
Right?
Yeah.
Great idea.
We're going to just reconstruct everything.
Yeah, we're
for you,
okay, I
Karen.
think we need to cut. And then, on the other side, you have the whole wall, but I know you want to put up the memorabilia. But if you could somehow really think hard and long about all the storage that you might need, because that seems like a pretty active room where you've got stuff going outside. So you might even want to put things back there in a deep cabinet that, you don't need necessarily for making the cappuccinos and whatnot. And I would definitely try to put some, if you're doing uppers and lowers there, some under counter lighting I think would be really good.
And I also think that you should find somewhere behind that bar a place to put a small fridge. Because, there's things like, cream and milk and all these things. And you don't want to be constantly having to run that back and forth to the kitchen. You want to keep a good supply in your cappuccino bar. And that piece of equipment, that cappuccino machine or espresso machine, that's out of this world. Yeah. Display that with pride.
Yes. I think that she said she's going to have that right out on the counter.
Yes.
So sort of dip down.
Ooh, when are we invited? Because I love
I know. I love cappuccinos.
And this is just for anybody. Having a bar is such a fun idea, whether it's tea, if it's tea or coffee or libations or like lemonades and waters. Those are wonderful things to have because people really use them.
Yeah. Yeah. So fun. Okay. And we were talking about the memorabilia that Taryn has and incorporating that. So I want to just share with everybody something that our listener Brandy has done. Brandy's from British Columbia, and she really enjoys the podcast.
Hi, Brandy.
And as a nod to our Old Soul episode, Brandy had the idea after listening to slipcover a chair with her grandpa's Royal Canadian Navy uniform.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and she sent these photos. It's amazing. And on top of all that, the chair underneath was her grandma's. So it is such an amazing piece of memorabilia and a keepsake and a conversational item in her home. And she wanted to let us know that, she was kind of inspired to do that by listening to our episode. And she loves to repurpose things. And as we're definitely kindred spirits in that regard, Brandy. So finding new uses for old items. And wow, this would have just been sitting in a box.
Yeah.
Like Taryn was saying about her, all the World War II memorabilia. It would just be sitting in a box. So now she's, got it on the wall. We'll have it on the wall and enjoying it. And Brandy gets to look at this beautiful little chair with this sailor's uniform on it. It's just amazing. Beautiful. I love it.
Girls, you know what? I'm so sorry to do
I know.
this.
It's so many more pages. Do you
I
hear
know.
all the pages?
It's my job to watch the clock right now.
Okay.
So
it's a grandfather clock.
Here's what I think we should do. I think we should have listener questions part B or
we do them from time to time. We'll do it again.
Yeah, and I think we should do it really soon because I've got a few here that I know our listeners want us to get to.
Okay.
Yes,
so
we
love your questions. We love your emails. We love your pictures. We just thank you so much for investing time and energy with us because we feel like we have so many friends and it's just wonderful. Remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey, everybody, we want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.